All right, all right. So, I wasn't expecting to do such a spicy video so early into this series, whatever we want to call it, of my article read a day. And but this one has a bit of oomph for me. It really gets me. It's something I'm a little passionate about, and I don't know if this is the best thing to kind of bring up in the media that I'm in the since I'm in the media workspace, since I'm a media professional. But hopefully this doesn't impact me too much in the future. I don't think it will. I think this is kind of like well known that everyone hates Adobe, right? You know, Adobe is kind of just like the laughing stock of everyone right now. And I'm gonna pull up this first article. Let's see. So this is a newer article that was published a few days ago, but a lot of this is kind of old news. About a month ago, Adobe was being sued by the FTC, but they also got a ton of drama and pushback on some terms of service things that they were doing. I'm going to start this off with my kind of background of Adobe. So I started learning Adobe in high school using Premiere, and I used a few Adobe products over the years. I didn't have a license for a little bit because I wasn't doing as much editing, but I think around like 5 or 6 years ago, I ended up getting a license for photography purposes. I was doing professional photography, and I had like a deal where I was getting it for I had a 6 month deal, and I was like, all right, this is fine. I think it was like some bundle for like $10 a month, or maybe less than that even. And then they ended up raising their prices, and this was at a point where I wasn't super aware of Adobe and everything that was going on with them, and I think they were slowly starting to go down this path of bad business practice, I guess you could call it. But I ended up canceling because I was like, this is too much money. After my trial or whatever promo I had, it just like went up in price a lot. And I was like, I can't justify using this. I ended up not using it as much after that anyways. And I started looking for other alternatives for things like Premiere and such like that. So at that point, I already had a bad taste in my mouth. I was already like, I don't think this is worth it. This is a lot of money monthly. Why is there no more single license that you can buy? And I think other people were sharing similar opinions around that time. And then recently, Adobe's just been getting hit for bad business things, like kind of over and over and over again for the like past few years or so. And this one with this I think the biggest thing is definitely the subscriptions. Adobe's been decent in their products. I think recently they haven't done anything like super revolutionary. I remember back in the day, Adobe used to be really known for having like the best suite and having a crazy like they would do stuff. They were kind of innovating in a way and making really good technology and stuff. And now it feels like they're a little stale as far as what they're doing in new software. And I think the only reason why people are sticking with them is because of the suite now. And there's a certain products that they have that don't have great alternatives right now, but a lot of them have amazing alternatives. Like for me, example, Premiere, I use DaVinci Resolve instead, and I like it even more than Premiere. If I got Premiere for free, I would still probably pick DaVinci. But I think the biggest issue with Adobe is Creative Cloud and their cancellation fees. I love this article title: Adobe exec compared Creative Cloud cancellation fees to heroin. The early termination fees are a bit like heroin for Adobe. It's like, yeah, I think they're just raking in so much money, or at least they were for a while, because now people are canceling like in huge amounts. But there's still companies that like have whole Creative Cloud suites for like their whole company, and some people don't even use it. But like my sister-in-law had this same issue recently where she couldn't cancel Creative Cloud, and it was like she had to cancel her credit card, and there's FTC was basically suing them for deceptively getting people into contracts. That same thing happened to my sister-in-law. And this whole issue with for one, it's incredibly expensive. And for two, it's like you either can't cancel, or you're signing up to something that you don't know that you can't cancel, or you have some crazy fee if you cancel. It used to be in the past where you could cancel whenever, and it's kind of insane. I feel like they're just like, oh, we can make so much money, we can just do whatever we want, we can just deceive people and do all this stuff. So they're getting sued for that. And then the other drama that was about a month ago, I don't want your cookies, whatever. Was their terms and conditions. I don't know if this is the best article to start with. Here we go. Here's a good one. So basically they had this update, and these terms of use thing came up. And I think the biggest one was clarified that we may access your content through both automated and manual methods as for content review. And I'm not sure if this is an updated version, if they changed it, if they went back and changed it, but they might have changed the wording a little bit. They did a lot of backpedaling, which I'm going to get to in a moment too, but basically saying that they can access your content. Pretty vaguely, people weren't sure if this meant on your hard drive, or this was just stuff like in Creative Cloud. Is this stuff that any project that you're loading? And to me, that no matter what the circumstances, I don't like this. And I get that there's probably other terms and conditions and things that come up that are very similar to this, but especially how they worded it made it seem like like people were wondering about rights and this whole crazy thing. And there was another kind of section to that had to do with AI, and they had to basically come back and say, oh, we're not going to use your data to train our AIs. But there was like people were going into their, I think it's called Fireflight or Firelight or something like that, where it's their AI engine, and different artists can pull up that their name would come up in searches like of similar, like if you want to look up this kind of art style and stuff. So a whole bunch of like, you didn't really disclose this very well. I, for one, personally don't love the fact that, I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's other things that I use that companies can like access my data or like pictures or whatever, but everyone freaked out seeing that like on an update, and it like came up first. And I saw this tweet that was hilarious too. It's like, I can't even delete Photoshop without accepting this, so I can't, like, no matter what, they're getting my data, I guess, because I can't delete the app without accepting this and going into the app to delete it. So I thought that was hilarious. They did this whole backpedaling in this video coming back with kind of explaining things, and I think they did a fine job. It was kind of a little too late, and people they got so much bad press like a month ago that like a lot of people were jumping ship. I hope this changes how they do business in the future, and I hope this does kind of make them change to better business practices. But I think, in my opinion, Adobe is probably the worst media company in like a media professional realm that I've right now at all, and they have been for a while. So hopefully these Adobe will make some changes, but they haven't for a little while. Hopefully if people cancel enough, they'll kind of start to go back and do some things better. But I am, for one, I'm a huge advocate for Adobe alternatives. There's a website that has all sorts of Adobe alternatives. Let me just see if I can find it really quick. I might put it in the description. So if you Google it, it's pretty easy to find. There's a GitHub. Put it on screen real fast. But there's a GitHub article thing that's just like linked to all these different Adobe alternatives. And as far as I can tell from the ones that I've seen and checked out, that there's a really good alternative for almost everything. So I am all for competition and not monopolistic practices. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if you jump ship from Adobe, if you are still with Adobe, if you are also mad at Adobe, which I think everyone is, but there might be some Adobe lovers still there. Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.